Hello there, savvy introvert friends. Liesel here. And I haven't been doing videos for quite a long time, and some of the reasons are my computer, my laptop had a challenge with connecting to the Wi-Fi. It kept dropping, so it was a horrible experience. And I didn't have a haircut for a long time here in London, so I just didn't feel like showing up on video. So it's a little bit funny. Maybe you can identify with wanting to look perfect and all right. So this morning I had my haircut, and here I am. I promised in our Savvy group that I would do a video or two about the Gallup StrengthsFinder. And so I'm going to keep these very short so it's easy to listen to. And today I just wanted to mention the sort of background to Gallup StrengthsFinder and how it changed my practice and the way that I work with people, and why I absolutely love it more and more every time I work with the StrengthsFinder. So up until about 4 years ago, I worked with EFT, the tool of my choice, to help clients get past their emotional challenges that stop them from taking action and from having an awesome life. So we were working with challenges and issues and problems, and EFT got them very effectively past those. The thing is, it never actually showed them how awesome they were. And in my own life, if I think back to many of the things I worked with for myself, got past some of my own problems, but it didn't really help me to tune into my amazing uniqueness, just like I couldn't help my clients with EFT to tune into how amazing and unique and wonderful they are put together. So around 4 years ago, I found the Gallup StrengthsFinder through a friend of mine, and she took me through my strengths. And boy, did it change my view of the world and the view of how I need to carry on my work in the future. So what I maybe wanted to share with you today is how Gallup StrengthsFinder came into being and why it's such an awesome tool to help you figure out what's right with you. In the 1960s, there were some researchers who wanted to find out what speed reading techniques were most going to help some students who were having difficulty with reading. So they took a bunch of, I think, 10th graders. Not only a few of them, they took 6,000 pupils. Some of them had trouble with reading, and others were already good to average, or maybe good to great with their reading speed. So they put these different groups through the same reading or speed reading exercises over a period of a number of weeks to help them improve their reading speed. And what they wanted to figure out was which technique was most going to help them. Well, what came out of the research was actually fascinating, and it took them aback. They didn't expect this, because what they figured out is it didn't really matter which speed reading technique they used. All the students in their separate groups improved round about the same way, or to the same degree. But what they did figure out that was very unexpected was the group of readers who were below average, who were struggling with their reading speed. Doesn't matter which type of technique they used, they improved from average of 90 words per minute to about 150 words per minute, which is a pretty great improvement. It's about a 60% improvement. However, the group of readers that were already having an easy time with reading, that were already loving reading, went from around 350 words per minute, so they started at a higher number, 350 words per minute, and through the course of these few weeks, they improved to 2,900 words per minute. That is a massive, massive increase compared to the students who were struggling with reading. The ones who were already good with reading, who already had a great average, improved so much more with the same speed reading techniques as the ones who were struggling. And that's when the eyes of the scientists went open a little bit, and they said, wow, this is super fascinating and we need to do something with this, but what? So they repeated the whole exercise a few times to make sure that they got it right. They didn't make a mistake in their outcome, and it came out the same way every time. So what they got from that is, when we try and improve on the things where we're struggling, where we're weak at, where it's just a huge big struggle for us, our weaker areas, we can definitely improve by working in a focused way on that. And it's difficult. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort and persistence. And it's just something, it feels like hard work. But in the areas of our life where we're already great at, or where we have an easier time, to take that same amount of focused energy, focused attention, and improve in that area is energizing. The improvements are easier. We improve in leaps and bounds to such a massive degree, where the ones who were struggling improved quite a bit, but it was not enjoyable. The ones who were improving on something where they were already great at improved by feeling inspired. It was energizing for them. It was easy for them. They loved it. And the improvement was to like such a huge degree that it was incomparable. And that's when the scientists started asking, well, what would happen if we did that same thing with people? And started asking the question, what's already right with you, instead of what's wrong with you and how can we help you to change that? So the whole premise of the Gallup StrengthsFinder is, what is already right with you? And let's help you to understand that and really get to grips with that and embrace what's already right with you. It may not be what you wanted it to be, but there are areas in your life that you're absolutely brilliant at, that other people can't do, that comes easy for you, that's energizing, inspiring, motivating, that just sort of, comes out of you with the greatest ease and pleasantness and joy, and it makes you feel great when you're busy with those activities. So that is what the Gallup StrengthsFinder helps us to determine, is where are your areas of greatest strength? And also it can help us determine where are our areas of weakness. Of course, we can improve the weakness. Of course, we can spend focused time there and improve it. And the improvement is going to be like this, a little bit. Whereas the improvement, if we work on our stronger areas, is going to be like that. It's just no comparison. Plus, the enjoyment we get out of that improvement is huge. So if you're interested in to find out exactly, this is a scientifically researched online assessment that they've been doing the research for about 40 years, and more than 18 million people worldwide have taken this assessment. So it's well researched. They keep adding to the research. They keep finding out more and adding to their knowledge base. If you're interested, there is a website called Gallup StrengthsCenter.com. And I will put the link here in the comments of this video as well. You can choose between the top 5 strengths or full 34. And there's quite a price difference between the two assessments. Usually people feel comfortable to start with their top 5. And when they find out what the top 5 can do for them and how it can help them live a more authentic, relaxed, energized, inspired life, they're usually interested to go on to the full 34 that tells you a much bigger story. The top 5 strengths give you about 10% of your story and what you are really about, because it doesn't include the draining strengths, the ones that make you feel, oh, I can't do this, this is just horrible. So I will do a series of short videos to make sure that I keep this short enough so that it's easy to watch. And if you have any questions or comments about the Gallup StrengthsFinder and how to go about that, please feel free to comment on this video or ask me some questions privately. This is one of my passions. I absolutely love this work because I see the difference that it makes for my clients, and I have experienced the difference that it makes in one's life for myself as well. Finally, after I learned about my strengths and went through a process of really embracing them, I could relax into being my authentic self and give up wanting to be like somebody else that I could never, ever, ever, ever be. And that was just so stressful to try and be like somebody else, and like a friend of mine who's an extrovert and sort of a kick-ass coach and who did things in such a different way. She got results with her clients, but if I tried to do it that way, I would not get the same results with my clients, because I'm not her, and it would be totally inauthentic. So the Gallup StrengthsFinder really shows us what is right with us so that we can build on that. Doesn't mean that we can't improve on our weaker areas. Doesn't mean that we can't keep on working on those areas and clearing out the emotional stumbling blocks on our way to living an authentic and wonderful, joyful life. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be posting a few more of these videos over the next few weeks. Wishing you a wonderful weekend. Weekend's on its way, and I hope you have a miraculous and recharged weekend ahead of you.